This Red Sox Braves series is brought to you by Jeep, the most awarded SUV lineup ever. And tonight back home at Fenway, it's the Red Sox and the Braves for another 2 games. The start of a 5-game homestand as the Sox come home after a nice 4-1 road trip. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Yawkey Way. Great to have you. I'm Dave O'Brien. Delighted to be joined again by Red Sox Hall of Famer Jerry Remy. Remdog, always great to see you. And this is a Red Sox team that has been scoring early and often in games in the first inning, 6 of the last 7 games. The top of the order is cooking.
Oh, they are really hot. What a road trip they had. You know, the whole Red Sox lineup all season long has been pretty darn good. But this last road trip was incredible for the top of the lineup. And look at the table setters. Mookie Betts, Dustin Pedroia, Xander Bogaerts. 346 for Betts. 6 runs scored out of that leadoff spot. Pedroia, 391 average on the trip. And Bogaerts, 389 plus stealing bases, 3 steals, a couple of runs scored. You know, when those guys get on base, it's like move the line. It's everybody down the line seems to pick things up. And that's exactly the way it's been for Boston all season long. I mean, they've offensively have had no problems at all. And those top 3 guys, when they're going like that, you know the Red Sox are going to score a lot of runs.
All right, so the Red Sox home for 5 games, 2 here against Atlanta, and then 3 more against the New York Yankees, going for 4 in a row. And the baseball goes to Stephen Wright, trying to give the Sox a 4th straight win. And the first pitch is coming up here on NESN. America runs on Duncan. By Subaru Retailers of New England, supplying award-winning all-wheel drive vehicles throughout New England. By DraftKings, the official one-day fantasy baseball partner of your Boston Red Sox. By the 2017 Kia Sportage. Visit nekiadealers.com to learn more. And by Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, and nothing to hide. Great night here at Fenway. Stephen Wright on the bump tonight. And the knuckleballer really pitched well in his last start when he took on the Houston Astros in Houston. A deep start again for Wright. 6 2/3 innings. He allowed just 4 hits in the Sox victory. And he's been working with Ryan Hanigan, who catches Wright with that softer, oversized mitt. And Hanigan has really become a very valuable guy in his ability to catch him. And for more on that relationship, let's go to Garrett Austin.
Thanks, Opie. I talked with pitching coach Carl Willis, who said that Ryan Hanigan has been putting in a lot of work catching knuckleballer Stephen Wright, and he's really helped him utilize his curveball. Here's what manager John Farrell had to say about the impact Hanigan can have when he's in the lineup.
He's about 6 starts into handling him, and that includes some games in spring training. So, you know, the other night in Houston, he had I would consider a pretty violent knuckleball, and it was a battle for him, and yet has done a very good job. You know, Ryan is going to, in those challenging moments, find a way to get the job done. Whether it's been with a lengthy at bat or handling Stephen Wright, he gets the job done.
Really wears it too. He is all in with the knuckleballer on the mound tonight. Red Sox going for 4 consecutive wins. Stephen Wright on the hill against Atlanta. Is brought to you by your New England Audi dealers. By T-Mobile. Get Major League coverage. T-Mobile has doubled its 4G LTE in the past year. By buyatoyota.com, Toyota's website for deals. And by Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. Red Sox back home at Fenway. Beautiful night here. It will get chilly. Time for a look at the Braves lineup. It's brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Nick Markakis leads it off. He'll be followed by Daniel Castro and Adonis Garcia. Freddie Freeman's their star. He's at first base. Jeff Francoeur in left. A.J. Przinsky is on the doorstep of 2,000 hits. He needs one more. Kelly Johnson at second. Eric Ibar at short. Drew Stubbs in center field. And he'll be up against the right-hander Stephen Wright. Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your New England Audi dealers. He has never faced the Atlanta Braves. John Farrell calls Wright the Red Sox most consistent starting pitcher.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, and they are second in the American League with 9 errors in 20 games. Travis Shaw will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second. And Hanley Ramirez, the first baseman, left to right. Brock Holt, Jackie Bradley Jr., Mookie Betts, and Ryan Hannigan doing the catching for Stephen Wright.
Tonight's umpires, they're around home plate right now discussing the ground rules. Are brought to you by ToyotaCertified.com. Kerwin Danley makes the calls behind the plate. Andy Fletcher at first. Mark Ripperger at second base. And the crew chief, 40 years in the game, is Joe West, Cowboy Joe West. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP presented by ToyotaCertified.com. Search for your factory-backed Toyota certified used vehicle right now.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Mostly clear, 53 degrees at the moment, and there is a frost warning later on tonight. Temperatures are supposed to dip down to about 39 degrees.
Actually, right now, pretty nice at the ballpark. The wind blowing out toward the left field wall.
And very comfortable as Markakis gets in. And Wright ready to work. And in there for strike one. We're underway. Boy, Atlanta has lost 7 in a row. 4-16 their record. And they have not hit a home run in about 100 years. Actually, it's 15 games, but it probably feels like it. I mean, 15 games, Jerry, without a home run.
That's amazing. You know, you think every once in a while somebody would square went up, but hasn't not been the case, and they are really scuffling for runs right now.
Manager Freddie Gonzalez there. Here's the 0-2. High chop right to Shaw. I think the home run ball that he hit yesterday in Atlanta is coming down right about now.
I had a chance to see that last night on TV, and I'm going to tell you, he got a fastball inside, and he said he was looking inside for that pitch, and he drove that ball a long way. What a beautiful swing on an inside fastball. You know, Shaw said they were working him inside, and he was kind of looking for something in there, and he finally got it, and he crushed it. There's a double later on in the ball game for Travis Shaw. Big night for him.
And for the Red Sox, 11 runs, a season high. Here's Daniel Castro, who's hitting .273, no homers and 4 runs batted in. And he fouls that one back.
And one thing to watch for tonight from Stephen Wright, the fact that not only does he throw the knuckleball, but he's mixing in a few more curveballs now, and also the fastball. As a matter of fact, he started the ball game off with a fastball.
A 140 earned run average for the 31-year-old from California, and that one foul tipped out of the mitt.
I was asking Tim Wakefield last night about the curveball from Wright. He was telling me that's a pitch that Tim used to throw quite a bit, and he was saying the fact that it kind of changes the eye level and they kind of give up on the breaking ball because it starts up high, and that's why he threw it, and of course it would drop into the strike zone.
0-2 got a piece of that one, so he's throwing a lot more curveballs. You hope the umpires can kind of wait on it.
Exactly.
Because they might get fooled too.
Well, that's what Wakefield did. I mean, he basically was fastball, curveball, and then, you know, every once in a while, knuckleball, curveball, every once in a while a fastball. And you're right about the umpires.
They really have to be patient. Floater toward right center field. Here comes JBJ with a dive. And he hangs on. A terrific play. Wow. You talked about defense in the open. And on cue, Jackie leaves his feet.
Well, you know, the impressive thing is with 2 strikes, he was kind of leaning in that direction, completely off the ground, closes the glove up before the ball hits the grass. He's able to hold on to it. Right there, we talked about the defense on this ball club. It has been spectacular, and especially out in that outfield.
It was a floater, and so was he. He just floated to it with that Superman dive. So 2 down. Here's Garcia showing a bunt, and it is inside for a ball. He's hitting .306 with 1 home run. And tonight he is their designated hitter. Red Sox defense has just been really, really good. Now, you knew it was going to be good up the middle, but the Red Sox are also getting it on the corners.
They are. You know, the question marks, I think, coming out of spring training, what was Hanley going to do at first base and what was Travis going to do at third base? And both have been fine. More than fine. You just saw the outfield. We knew we were going to get good defense in the outfield from the Red Sox. You knew you were going to get it as short and second and behind the plate.
In there for a strike. Hanley has not been charged with an error. Looking very, very comfortable at first base. We've talked about Brian Butterfield and their special relationship. There's a swing and a miss. Down he goes, strike 3. Hennigan will throw on. The runner didn't go anyway, and that's a strikeout. Quick start for Steven tonight. He gets a 1-2-3, and the Sox are coming up. Stephen Wright got a terrific defensive play. Great catch by Jackie Bradley Jr. to get him in order. Now the Red Sox lineup. It's brought to you by BuyAToyota.com. Toyota's website for deals. It'll be Mookie Betts, Dustin Pedroia, and Xander Bogaerts. David Ortiz back in there tonight. Hanley Ramirez at first, then Travis Shaw, Brock Holt, Ryan Hannigan, and JBJ in center field. Up against the right-hander Bud Norris. He is 1-3, an ERA of 6.75. This guy was a 15-game winner with Baltimore just a couple of years ago, but he's fallen on hard times since. There's a high fly into left center, but it hangs up for Stubbs. Center fielder backs up, and on the track he makes the play.
The Braves defense is brought to you by DraftKings. They are next to last in the National League. 18 errors in 20 games. Daniel Castro will be at third base. Eric Ibar, the shortstop. Kelly Johnson at second. Freddie Freeman, the first baseman. Left to right, Jeff Brancourt. Drew Stubbs, who just made that catch. Nick Markakis. And A.J. Brzezinski behind the plate catching Norris.
Here's Dustin Pedroia. Checks in at .318 with a homer and 7 runs batted in. And some pretty good numbers against Norris in his career. 6 out of 16, 375 against this right-hander.
You know, he's been pretty good against the Red Sox. Norris 2-3, but a 3.07 in 7 career starts.
Oh, and 2 on Pedroia. Pedroia loves interleague play. 335 against the National League. That's second all time behind Mike Piazza's 340. And Norris with a 1-2.
And once again, like so many teams, the left side of the infield really pinching Dustin Pedroia at third and short. You can see not much of a hole in that area, but plenty up the middle.
The 2-2 would not chase. He's been a very disciplined hitter. Now look at this, 438 with 2 strikes last week. Trying to reach here in a 3-2 pitch. Red Sox have really been getting started right away. There's a base hit up the middle. Time now to see who's been driving the ball, presented by Toyo Tires. The Red Sox offensive numbers in the first inning: a .352 average, a high on base percentage, lots of runs. It's the top run scoring inning for the Red Sox. Toyo Tires, the official tire of the Boston Red Sox.
We talked about that wide open gap up the middle. That's exactly where Pedroia goes with the baseball. And I think even if Ibar had been in a normal shortstop position, he's not going to get that ball anyway.
So here's Xander Bogaerts, 291 with a homer, now 10 runs batted in. He's hit safely in 6 in a row. And the breaking ball finds the mark for a strike. It's not a light hitting streak either. He's 12 for 25 during it. Red Sox with 11 runs last night, a season high to beat up on this Braves team. And they get 4 in the first inning. When they score first, the Red Sox are 7-4. Fans, be sure to stop by Plain Ridge Park Casino. Plain Ridge Park Casino is the official sponsor of winning. Just getting started on a crystal clear night. That one loop foul back out of play.
And one of the impressive things on that road trip was the fact that the speed of Xander Bogaerts, picking up some stolen bases, 5 total on the season, has not been caught. Swinging the bat well. He highlighted in the open the top 3 guys in the lineup, really setting the table.
It's a great point. He didn't steal his 5th base last year until the 99th game of the season. That was the end of July. As he looks at the ball,
he's got speed. You know, he's got speed. The problem with Bogaerts, you know, as far as running goes, he's hitting in front of David Ortiz, and you got to be very careful about how you pick and choose when to go with Ortiz at the plate.
David on deck. Xander stealing 3rd base last night. Pedroia on at first with 1 down. High bounder. Castro slings it into second 1. They try and turn it, but cannot. He's safe at first base. So Ortiz will come up to bat here with 2 down in the first inning.
Just not hit hard enough for a double play. There's the one big bounce, and you see that Castro gets it to his second baseman very quickly, but he has to go to the outfield side, the left field side of the bag. That costs a little time. Instead of coming across the bag, he let the bag there for protection, And then that throw is going to bounce to first base. But even with a perfect pivot at second base, they're not going to get that double play. Bogart just runs too well.
Well, David Ortiz only had one pinch hit appearance in the series in Atlanta. So hitting .290 with 3 home runs. Bogart's the runner at first base, scoreless in the first. Ortiz 4 for 15 against this right-hander, but he's hit 2 home runs off of Bud Norris. And diving back, Xander Bogaerts.
They have the shift on David like everybody does, but they really have Kelly Johnson, the second baseman, almost over on that right field line.
Indicating a bunt, but he takes one low.
And of course, as always, and especially with the man at first base, the outfield very, very deep. They don't want to run scoring on a ball in a gap with 2 outs. And you see where Kelly Johnson is, the second baseman. He's really close to that line, the foul line. Eric Ibach shifted over.
The 1-0 runner holding, and a ball. Think about this now. David Ortiz, with his next extra base hit, will tie Ted Williams and Jimmy Fox for 17th place on the all-time list. Remarkable. 1,116 extra base hits. There's a shot down into the corner. He's got it right there. Here comes Xander churning around third. He is going to score on the double, and the Red Sox lead it 1-0.
Well, we highlighted the shift where Kelly Johnson was. We talked about the outfield being deep, and none of that mattered because Ortiz takes the line drive up over the head of Kelly Johnson and makes Markakis chase it back to the wall. Watch the location of this line drive up over the head of Johnson, and even though Markakis is deep, he has to go way to his left to make the play, and that's going to give Bogaerts plenty of time to come around. David picks up his 15th RBI of the season. That's right on time right there. Weight shift, perfect head on the baseball. And there you see the numbers. Doubles 16, 593 all time.
And dead even with Ted Williams and Jimmy Fox for extra base hits.
Pretty good, huh?
I would say so. And the Red Sox again in their favorite inning get on the board. Here's Hanley Ramirez hitting .266 with a homer and 10 runs batted. I think a lot of the Red Sox are saying wait till Hanley gets going. Wait till Hanley starts to swing it as he can. And it might be against this guy tonight because he's 8 for 17 against Norris. And everybody in that Red Sox clubhouse will tell you it's simply a matter of time. Little looper settling down. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Here comes Big Poppy, and he will score. And the Red Sox lead it 2-0.
Well, you know, this is what I love what Hanley Ramirez is doing right now, because he's not up there just trying to pull the ball. He's moving the ball all over the ballpark. You go back to last night, he took a curveball and he hit it up against the right field wall. Tonight, this pitch is inside, and look at the swing. Hands inside the baseball and fighting that ball to the opposite field. Instead of trying to pull it, he lets the ball get deep on him, and he's able to drop it in for a base hit and drive in Ortiz. I mean, that's something we rarely saw from Hanley a year ago, but we're seeing a lot of it this year.
Very content to do that. 9 for 18 against Norris now. And here's Travis Shaw coming off a 5 RBI night. And that's a career high for Travis, hitting .324. This is a tough lineup to pitch to.
It certainly is, top to bottom.
Slicer foul.
And by the way, Dave, nice job on that trip. 4-1 trip for you. Very, very good.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Good to see you back in the booth, though.
Good to be here.
We missed you. 4-1 has a nice ring to it.
Yes, it does. You have the feeling like the team's going to get on a little bit of a roll now.
I think you're right, and I think the Red Sox are talking about that too. With all these home games coming up, the next 27, 18 are at Fenway Park. So I think really, Jerry, for the opportunity to get on a roll, a sustained roll, the Red Sox can be in first place tonight if Baltimore gets beat and they win.
Anytime you go on a road trip and you play the way the Red Sox did on this trip, you've got to feel good when you come back home. And this could be a very good homestand for the Sox.
And there goes Hanley. Pitch high. Here's the throw, and it will not be in time. Another Red Sox stolen base.
Now let me ask you this, Dave. Red Sox baseball, right? They are last in the league in home runs. They are first in the league in stolen bases. Can you believe that?
I know. One of those weird things early on. Now, this is a club that's going to hit home runs. They're going to hit a lot of home runs.
Yes.
But, you know, the weather has to cooperate, I think. All those 40-degree nights we had early on, and tonight it's going to get down to the 40s. But the runs keep on coming. The stolen bases keep on coming. And that is outside ball 4.
You know, the impressive thing to me is with the stolen bases, they're 20 out of 22 on the season. So they're picking the correct times to go. They really focus, you know, on the times from the pitcher to the catcher to second base. And, you know, they pick the right times to go. That's why they have a success rate like they have.
Well, Dustin Pedroia got it going in the inning with a base hit. David Ortiz tearing into a double. Hanley Ramirez with an RBI single. And the Red Sox again pressing the matter right away in the opening frame. And here's Brock Holt, the 7th man to hit in the first inning. And this is becoming routine, Jerry, to see 6, 7, 8, 9 guys bat in the first inning.
Yeah, they call it keep the line moving, and they have done quite a bit of that.
Brock hitting .268. He's 4 for 10 against Norris. So Chili Davis loves what he's seeing here early in games. Last night late too. That's a strike.
Red Sox will basically see the fastball, slider, occasional curveball, and changeup from Bud Norris.
He was 3-11 between the Orioles and San Diego last year. 2 men aboard, 2 down. That trimmed the corner. Brock has driven in a run 5 of the last 6 games. It's 13 RBIs. Ramirez at second, Shaw at first. That moves him back. So to count 2-2 on the Red Sox left fielder. Ryan Hannigan on deck. Some early run support for Stephen Wright. 2-2. Broken bat dribbler. Freeman to the pitcher and got him to retire the side. But the Red Sox once again get on that scoreboard. 2-0 after 1. Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, and nothing to hide.
Dave, we often talk about great defense in the outfield and positioning and moving on counts. And I want you to watch Jackie Bradley with 2 strikes, and it's the difference in making the catch and not making the catch. Now watch him move to his left with 2 strikes, just about 3 or 4 steps. And that helps him make this play out there as he dives for it. If he doesn't move on the count, he probably doesn't make that catch. It probably drops in for a base hit or maybe more. But that's the kind of things we talk about, moving on counts, not only in the infield, but also in the outfield, because you expect more of a defensive swing with 2 strikes.
I loved all of that. You broke it down beautifully. But what I loved more than anything was the glide. When he did Keanu Reeves out of the Matrix there. He just hovered over the ground before making that catch. Is Freeman taking one in there for a strike? I don't think you can teach that.
No, you can't teach. You can't teach a lot of the things that Jackie does in center field.
That's for sure. Freeman hitting just .203, and he hammers that one foul. It's worth another look. The hang time.
I mean, completely up in the air, and watch him close the glove and keep it from bouncing out when it hits the grass. That's beautiful.
0-2 outside. Freeman, a native of California, so the story should be viewed with a little bit of sympathy. It was in January a couple of years ago. A massive snowstorm, ice storm, hit Atlanta. Gridlock all over the city, all the highways around Atlanta. He hits a high fly to left field, drifting back Holt, and now turning. He will play that off the green. He bobbles it, and Freeman is into second base and will have himself a 2-base hit as the first hit of the ball game. And he got caught in that, and he wasn't moving an inch.
Well, Bronco goes back as deep as he can, and it's so high that he knows it's not going to take a big bounce over his head. It did bounce out of his glove, but it makes no difference. It was going to be a double anyway.
Third double of the season for Freeman. He was caught in that snowstorm for 11 hours. You know the guy who came to the rescue on his ATV, on his little utility vehicle, was none other than Chipper Jones.
Really?
Yeah, he emailed out. He said, "I'm stuck. I can't get out of this thing." And Chipper came and got him. Put him on the back and brought him home. Francoeur, that one foul at home plate, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike.
There's only one hitter in this lineup tonight that has faced Stephen Wright, and that's Eric Ibar. Other than that, it's the first look at Wright by any of these Atlanta hitters.
Francoeur, one of the few hitters who is making regular contact. He's hitting .324 and another foul, although he has yet to hit a home run. Red Sox up 2-0 here in the second inning. This is no surprise. He loves to swing the bat, and he always has. That one pops out of the mitt, swing and a miss. Down he goes, strike 3. Second K for Stephen Wright.
That's the knuckleball from Wright right there. It stayed a little bit high, but still no contact from Francoeur. Wasn't the best dancer that Wright can throw, but as you can see, not a lot of movement on it, but still no contact.
These cold hard facts are brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Entering tonight, Sox pitchers had 210 strikeouts. That's the most by any major league team in the first 20 games of a season since 1900. A strike on A.J. Pierzynski. Red Sox piling up the K's. 14 out of Mr. Price last night to tie his career high. Pierzynski with one more hit for 2,000, and that one into left field. There it is. That'll drop down. Freeman on to third will stop. That's a base hit for A.J. Pierzynski. That'll put runners at first and third. And they're going to ask for the baseball to toss it back inside their dugout. And that'll wind up in his locker. 2,000 hits.
That's quite a milestone for A.J. Pierzynski. 2,000 hits at the major league level. Slices it to the opposite field. And Because Holt is so shallow, they have to hold the runner at third base. Inside out swing from Pierzynski, and he knows he's got number 2,000 as soon as he makes contact there.
That's a rare feat for anybody, but especially for a big league catcher, as Kelly Johnson cuts and misses.
What a play there by Hannigan. That ball really took off from Stephen Wright, and Hannigan just saved a run. Reaching across his body. This ball almost by him.
One out, the 0-1, hammered foul. Kelly Johnson returning to the Braves, his third stint with this team. Originally drafted by Atlanta back in 2000. Right, trying to put him away. Line drive and out of the range of Bogaerts. That'll chase in the run. Freeman is in to score. That's their third hit in the inning. Runners at first and second. The Braves on the scoreboard, 2-1.
Yeah, almost similar to Brzezinski's hit. This one, though, Xander Bogaerts almost had a chance at. It's a very soft line drive. There's the knuckleball. As you can see, it stays away, it stays up. And right off the label of the bat, just kind of pushed the ball out over the head of Bogaerts. And from that point, the run comes in, so we get a 2-1 ball game.
Eric Ibar, the veteran infielder, hitting just 155 to hit here. That's a strike. He's in some slump. He's 6 for 50.
It's interesting. He's seeing a guy that he's faced 6 times and has 3 hits against.
Now an off Hannigan. And that will roll up against the fence, and the runners will advance to second and third on what will have to be a pass ball.
Watch this ball. I think it's going to hit Hannigan's shin guard. Look at the end of this, how it just dips below the glove. I mean, from pitch to pitch, you don't know what the knuckleball is going to do. We've seen some in this inning flat. We've seen some dip to the right. We've seen that one, saw that one, I should say, dip to the left. Not seeing it, saw it.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. And too high, and again Hannigan had a stab at that. It must really be dancing. That's why they call it the butterfly pitch. Deep breath from Carl Willis. He does that a lot when it's the knuckleball pitcher. As you just never know, cut out and miss. He's done a remarkable job controlling it, obviously, with a 1.40 ERA, and he's had a terrific season to this point.
Now that's the thing. I mean, you know, some pitches get out there like you had David Price last night, and you know he's hitting his spots. You know, with a knuckleball pitch, it can change from pitch to pitch. You just don't know.
Sometimes it can be too good.
Yep.
The 2-2. Little blooper foul out of play. Red Sox on top 2-1 here in the second inning. Terrific night to be here at the ballpark. And the Stars will be out shortly. Two men in scoring position. Here's the 2-2. Now full count on Ibar.
And actually wasn't a bad pitch. What happened is it really dipped after it got to the front of the strike zone, and the way Hannigan had to try to catch it. Now watch where this pitch goes across the strike zone. I mean, that's not too far for being a strike.
Payoff pitch. Waved at and missed. Down he goes. Big K for Stephen Wright there. That'll be his third.
And Wright staying with the knuckleball, got himself another good one. The bottom will fall out of this. You can see right at the last minute, started about belt high, as you can see, but watch the late movement on it. Just dropped below the bat. Ibar thought he had that one lined up, but that late drop brought on the strikeout.
Lexus making a pledge to strikeout hunger. For every strikeout by a Sox pitcher, Lexus will donate $50 to the Greater Boston Food Bank. Wright trying to hang on to his slender lead. Drew Stubbs here, 267 with 1 homer and 3 runs batted in. Brzezinski at third and Johnson at second. And the count moves to 2-0. The Orioles are playing Tampa Bay tonight. They have just a half-game lead over the Sox in the division. So first place could change hands tonight. That's a strike. Markakis on deck. And Wright with a 2-1 coming. Popped him up. Into shallow right. Hanley's there. Pedroia's there. And Petey puts it away to retire the side. So Wright buckles down. 2 men left. 2-1. The Sox. Two slices of pizza and a large fountain or frozen beverage for less than $3. Take a break from drive-through routines and the endless lines with lunch for under $3 at Cumberland Farms. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien with you. Garen Austin as well. Red Sox back home for 5. And the first series against the Yankees looming on Friday. Yankees in the basement at 8-11. Ryan Hanigan to lead things off here against Bud Norris. Then Jackie Bradley made a magnificent diving catch in the first inning, to be followed by Mookie Betts. Hanigan hitting right at 200. But I think on that road trip where the Red Sox went 4-1, he had the best at bat of anybody. That 13 pitch at bat on Sunday night to load the bases. Terrific at bat. It was in the 12th inning. Came around to score a run as well. And he floats that one foul back out of play.
Now, the way this is working out for both Vasquez and Hanigan is pretty good, you know, because Hanigan's catching a couple of guys. He's getting at least 2 starts every 5 starters. Vasquez getting the rest, and both are getting their good share of playing time. And still, it gives Vasquez a chance to rest up a little bit, you know, with that arm as it continues to get stronger.
Line drive and out of the range of Ibar, and a base hit. So a good start for Hanigan and the Red Sox here in the second inning. Let's go down to Garen Austin for an injury update. Garen?
Hey, thanks, OB. There were a few familiar faces in the clubhouse today. Carson Smith and Pablo Sandoval. Both players were in good spirits and very happy to be back with the team. Smith said that he'll be here for 2 days before heading out to do back-to-back games on Friday and Saturday with Portland. And Pablo Sandoval said that he's feeling much better. The inflammation has gone down and he's been icing, and that he hopes to meet with Dr. Andrews on Monday and get the results of that test. And Guys Farrell also had an update on Joe Kelly. He said he's making progress. He's throwing out to 120 feet, but they still don't have a date on when he'll be back on the mound.
Garrett, thank you very much. Jackie Bradley here, 235 with one home run. The Red Sox fans don't yet know what they've been missing out on with Carson Smith.
He's going to be a big boost for the bullpen. When you see him throw, he throws that heavy sinker. Hard breaking ball, good velocity.
Into the dirt, that clangs away. That'll advance the runner. Hannigan quickly into second base on the wild pitch. You're right, a lot of swings and misses from Carson Smith as well.
Yeah, you know, first of all, we take a look at this ball in the dirt, and it bounces right off the shin guard and to the third base side. That's the changeup right there. And right off the right shin guard of Brzezinski, so that moves Hannigan very quickly in a scoring position.
So another RBI opportunity. Jackie trying to pick up his 9th RBI. A twisting high foul down the line.
We're talking about Carson Smith, and you know, we saw him in spring training, and of course last year with Seattle, and a guy that throws a heavy baseball, you know, heavy sinker, and you don't make solid contact on him, it hurts. He's pretty impressive, and the Red Sox, that's going to be a big boost when they get him in that bullpen.
John Farrell and Dave Dombrowski are going to be very excited to get him back. He had 92 strikeouts in 70 innings last year with Seattle. 2 balls, 1 strike on Jackie. Mookie Betts on deck. Red Sox ahead here 2-1. Red Sox trying to make it 4 consecutive wins here this evening. The 2-1 from Norris. Trying to hold up. They do appeal, and no swing, says Joe West.
Here's a case where Jockey's going to try to pull a ball on the ground or deep in the air to get Hannigan to third base. So with less than 2 outs, there's a breaking ball, no swing by Jackie. He shakes his head himself. No. Pick out a pitch that you can pull.
Here comes the 3-1. He held up again. That's inside ball 4. Good at bat for Jackie. Tuesday, May 10th is David Price bobblehead night at Fenway Park. First 15,000 fans in attendance receive a David Price bobblehead courtesy of Nikon. And for tickets and more information, just visit redsox.com/promos or call 877 Sox 9. He got better and better as the night went on.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive to watch last night. It looked like a little bit of a struggle in the first few innings, and then just got better and better. And as you said, toward the end, 14 strikeouts, pinpoint control, inside, outside, great changeup. Just, I mean, you can't pitch any better than that.
Yeah. A lot of folks are saying, wow, it's the Braves, right? It's an overmatched lineup.
Yeah, well,
it's a major league lineup.
Yeah, it sure is.
And yeah, they don't hit a lot of home runs, but some of the guys in the lineup were hitting with pretty high batting averages. You've got Freddie Freeman in there, Frank Corin, some other guys, Eric Ibar.
When you're an ace like David Price and you're on your A game like he was last night, I don't care what team's going to be in there to face you. You got to beat him.
I couldn't agree more. I never bought that. It's a big league lineup, and he blew him away. Mookie Betts 0 for 1 with a fly to center. Mookie riding a 7-game hitting streak. As runners at first and second and nobody out.
Notice how the middle infielders have to closen up a little bit on their double play position because of the speed of Mookie Betts. They would be a little bit deeper because of his speed. They have to come in about a step and a half.
They appeal, and that's a swing and a miss according to Andy Fletcher. He could not hold it.
I don't think there's any question he went around on that.
Last 7 games, Mookie is hitting .371. He lets that one go downstairs.
Whoa. I think Mookie is lucky to still be standing there right now because that was a pretty good pitch. It's going to be a fastball. It's going to be at the bottom of the strike zone and looked like it had plenty of the plate.
Here's the 2-2. He spoiled it. We take a look at these rocket arms presented by Quicken Loans. Well, you start up there with David Price now. All those strikeouts, 46 to lead the majors. When you're topping Clayton Kershaw, you're getting it done with all those Ks. That was just an ace-like performance last night.
Yeah, keep momentum going with your ball club in a big way.
He wanted to go out there for that 8th inning, wanted the baseball, and then he struck out the side. Hannigan at second base, Bradley at first base. Red Sox ahead 2-1. Nobody out. Red Sox doing a good job of driving up the pitch count too on Norris. Early here in the 2nd inning, he's already uncorked 40 pitches. Young fan gets a baseball.
Yeah, she was supposed to get it originally. She dropped it, got it back.
Now that's a gentleman, huh?
We might have had him thrown out if he'd have kept it.
We may have intervened. Love the smiles. Now 3-2, quite an at bat here for Mookie. Somewhat fortunate. Here's the 3-2 and a little poke that'll drift into right, down for a base hit. Hannigan to third, and the bases are going to be loaded.
Well, Mookie got a second chance in that at bat. There's no question about it. There was a pitch previous that looked like strike 3, and then he takes an outside fastball with 2 strikes and just lines it to the opposite field for the base hit. Look at this pitch. I mean, this pitch is about 2 or 3 inches off the outside edge, and he's able to cover the plate, get the barrel of the bat on it, and drop it into right field for the hit. Hannigan, you can see peeking over his shoulder. He wants to make sure that ball's going to drop in, and with nobody out, you do not want to be thrown out at home. So the Red Sox have the bases loaded. Supposed to be in. Oh, that's the pitch that I thought they had him struck out on at the bottom of the strike zone. Was not called, and Mookie ends up with a base hit.
So they are all loaded up for Dustin Pedroia with nobody out here in the 2nd inning, and he'll take ball 1. They get John Gant up in their bullpen, so real early. Remember now, Norris did come into the game with an ERA near 7. He's just started some short tossing there. So it's Hannigan at third, Bradley at second, Betts at first base. Shows you how Mookie's going. That was not even close to being a strike.
No.
He gets a base hit to run his hitting streak to 8 straight. Shot to right, slicing toward the pesky pole down the line, and it is going to be out of here. That's off the pole, and it is a grand slam. How about that? You know who's smiling broadly? Clay Buchholz is smiling broadly because he got burned on a couple down that line. Nice to see a little get back there.
Yeah, I wonder if that's ever happened before to Dustin Pedroia. I mean, you know, usually we see him pulling the ball or going up the middle. This season, more and more, he's going to the opposite field, and I'd be curious. I doubt that he's ever hit that foul pole before.
Red Sox on top 6-1. And look at all the smiles. Bounty ball to second base by Xander Bogaerts. That's the first out in the inning. A grand slam for Pedroia.
And again, that ball's down the middle of the plate. How many times we see Dustin? He usually pulls that pitch, but this time he takes it the other way and right off the foul pole or the fair pole, whichever you prefer, for the grand slam home run.
It's the gone pole.
Yeah.
The grand slam pole, and Pedroia now up to 11 RBIs as he touches them all. Sox dancing. Nice to see one of those go the Sox way, because they got burned on a couple by J.J. Hardy.
They sure did.
You know, not right up against the pole, but down that line. Here's David Ortiz, who had an RBI double his first time up. Speedway proud to be New England's first choice for value and convenience. For every Red Sox home run this season, Speedway donates $500 to the Boston Children's Hospital. Stop by a Speedway store near you and pick up your Speedway rewards card to start earning points today.
You know, the impressive thing for me about that Pedroia home run is the fact that that ball was right down the middle of the plate. And, you know, we know Dustin, and most of the time he pulls that pitch.
Well, it's good to be home. As Dustin Pedroia will tell you, his second home run of the season.
It's the second grand slam Norris has given up in 2 games. He gave one up last time against the Mets, Curtis Granderson.
Grand slam number 3 for Dustin Pedroia. And 6-1 Sox.
Chili Davis talking over the swing right there with Mookie Betts.
There's a shot, high and deep, twisting toward the wall. David heading for second. He wants another double, and he's got one. He's 2 for 2 tonight with a pair of 2 base hits.
Well, what's impressed me in this inning is how the Red Sox have taken pitches to the opposite field. Now, David Ortiz gets a slider, and you can see the slider just spinning to home plate, but he doesn't pull it. He goes to the green monster with it. I mean, we've seen Betts go the other way. We saw Pedroia go the other way, and now Ortiz goes the other way and gets in a scoring position. That's going to be it for Bud Norris.
Yes, he will go the way of the showers. This call to the bullpen brought to you by Kia, as the Red Sox knocked the starter out very quickly here in the second inning. More in a moment. Short night for Bud Norris. His pitching line brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. Red Sox hammering him for 6 runs and a grand slam up against the pesky pole by Dustin Pedroia. This call to the bullpen brought to you by Kia. They'll bring on John Gant, the 6'3" right-hander from Savannah, Georgia. He's a rookie. Pitched at 3 levels last year. He's one of their top 20 prospects. But so far a high ERA in just 3 innings of work. So Norris goes an inning and a third. And the Red Sox beat him up And here comes Hanley Ramirez. He already has an RBI single tonight and a stolen base. David Ortiz just doubled off the green.
You know, one thing that Hanley's been very consistent with this season, and we kind of highlighted it earlier in the year, his swing, his setup to his swing, where he's got that bat on his shoulder, quite different from a year ago. The leg kick not as violent as it was a year ago, and the results are we're seeing him hit a lot more balls to the opposite field.
Yeah, very content to take that base hit to right his first time up. Here he pops it up. Over near the box seats, Freeman and the catcher Brzezinski, and Freeman makes the catch. Nice play where that screen has been extended.
That makes it a little bit more difficult now with the screen. As you can see, Freeman goes right up to it and is able to make the catch before the glove does hit the screen. But you know, he's a little unsure about how much room he had going toward the wall right there. And there's that screen that extends to the Red Sox dugout, obviously both on the first base and third base side.
You're seeing that around baseball. The Red Sox have taken it as far as they want to take it there to protect those fans in the box seats. Some ball clubs have extended the screen behind the dugout all the way down to the opposite end of the dugout. And teams were allowed to make up their minds on that. Red Sox want to preserve as much of the intimacy of Fenway as possible.
Now, most of the time when you see the broken bat go into the stands, it's generally in that area between the dugout and the hitter.
2 down for Travis Shaw. He took a walk in the first inning. Ortiz at second. A strike. Red Sox with early scoring again, leading it 6-1. And the 0-2 pitch to Travis.
That's where Brzezinski wanted it. They wanted it to go up and in with the fastballs, exactly where Gant got that pitch, and Travis Shaw had to move those elbows up. Let's see if they go away from him now or come back inside. We'll see what they do. Back inside, it looks like.
Chopper to third base, but a foul ball. That one kicked. Now Travis has been racking up the extra base hits. Of his last 23 hits, 10 have gone for extras. And he has started every single game for the Red Sox. And Gant with a 1-2 again.
After 2 pitches inside, they try that changeup away, and a good job fouling that off by Travis Shaw. That was a very good pitch by Gant. That's frustrating for a pitcher. You make a good quality pitch like that, and Shaw's able to foul it off.
Shaw looking for his 15th RBI. Pesky at bat here with 2 strikes.
So they've come in twice. They've gone away twice. Once with a changeup, the last one a fastball. Previous to this was a changeup. Now they try the fastball on the outside plate. A little bit of a late swing, but still fouling it off is Travis Shaw.
Ortiz leading away from second. 6 runs on 7 hits already for the Red Sox. At home for 5 in a row before going on the road again. With the Yankees in for the weekend. It was good to see Pablo Sandoval back in the clubhouse and feeling good, better anyway, I should say.
Yeah, a lot of the swelling seems to have gone away, and back to Dr. Andrews again very shortly. We'll see how much it's progressed.
2-2 outside, and I know it's been a very tough run for him. A lot of things have happened he didn't want to have happen, but he's a very upbeat personality.
John Farrell was saying, you know, of all that's going on, he's taken everything very well. He's been a very good teammate. So under a very difficult situation, he's remained pretty positive.
The 3-2 to Shaw. Spoiled again.
What an at bat by Shaw. He's fouled off all kind of pitches. Fastballs away, changeups away, fastballs in.
Now, the next pitch will be the 10th of this at bat.
I mean, he just may get another changeup. We'll see.
In the inning, a grand slam by Dustin Pedroia. Sox up by 5. Here's the 3-2 home. Another one knocked foul.
That's pretty good stuff. Fastball away that time, and Shaw again able to foul it off. That's just total plate coverage right here. Inside he's fouled them off. Outside he's fouled them off. Both fastballs and changeups away.
Making a run at Ryan Hannigan's 13 pitch at bat in Houston. Three-two again, and down low. He walked him. Well, he earned that one.
Yeah, that was one heck of an at bat right there. Finally, they decided on a changeup. He can't throw it for strike, and Shaw draws the walk.
Sox fans looking for the best seats to the biggest games? Check out the official Red Sox ticket resale marketplace at RedSoxReplay.com. It is the best place for season ticket holders to sell their tickets when they can't make it to the game. So Travis Shaw aboard with his second walk, and now comes Brock Holt. He bats for the second time. He's 0 for 1, but he's the 9th man to hit here in the second inning for Boston. And it's strike one. Pedroia finding the pesky pole. And his third career grand slam. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Off the fist foul, and 0-2. Brock has reached base in every game he's played in. Trying to get on here in the second inning and keep that line moving. The Red Sox have done so well. Ryan Hannigan would be next. He's the man who started it with a base hit. He started this second inning with a single. He was aboard when Pedroia hit that foul pole down the right field line. Here comes the 0-2.
Well, the Braves could get some innings out of Gant because you know, he was a starter in the minor leagues. Made a number of starts down there after being actually starting the season with the Braves, being sent back down, became a starter down there, and so he's capable of giving some innings here in the middle part of the ball game, or the early part of the ball game, I should say.
Oh, 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 men aboard.
And basically what we've seen so far from him is a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball changeup.
Ortiz at second, Shaw at first. The 1-2. That was the changeup down into the dirt.
Good job by Brzezinski blocking that. Of course, you know, we mentioned many times that actually this is kind of a split, it looks like that time. So both the split and the changeup. But you expect those type of pitches down low, and many times catchers are able to block them because they expect those pitches in the dirt.
The 2-2 to Brock Holt. Softly hit, but foul again. We've talked about this before, the depth of the Red Sox lineup, and how up and down you're going to get good at bats consistently at various parts of the lineup, 1 through 9.
Well, there really aren't any breathers, for the pitcher. I mean, when you look right down 1 through 9, I mean, there's not many outs there.
Here's the 2-2. Another one, flared foul, back off into the stands.
I hear pitchers talking about that all the time against these very good offenses. They say, they're tough to work against because you look down the lineup and there's no gift for you as you go through there. They all put up tough at bats, and that's the kind of offense you like to have.
Red Sox 6, Atlanta 1. And we're still in the second inning. And a 2-2 to Brock Holt. Fly ball into left. And Frank Core will finally record out number 3. 9 men come to bat. Dustin Pedroia with a grand slam down the line. And the Sox lead it 6-1. Well, did you know NESN is on Instagram? Be sure to follow us and keep up with all things Red Sox. Visit Instagram.com/NESN and follow right now. Very happy to be joined by Alex Spear of the Boston Globe in once in a while when we're home here at Fenway Park. Always great to see you. How about the home run by Pedroia?
That's quite a thing. He's been doing a really nice job of hitting the ball to the opposite field against right-handed hitters, but in the last week or so, it's started to be extra base hits instead of ground balls that have been finding holes. So for the first time this year, I feel like he's in a rhythm where he is kind of being that slugging, offensively oriented second baseman who's able to add that extra element to the lineup. It's been pretty impressive.
And going to right field with a fair number of hits. Jerry and I have talked about it, and perhaps you agree. His hands haven't been right, for a couple of years. Now they are, and those hits to right, the power you're talking about seems to be indicative.
It is. He is driving the ball. You saw it even on opening day. He drove a ball right to the fence in right center field. that isn't the hitter he came up as. He used to hit everything, just kind of tomahawk those pitches that were neck high down the left field line. No one goes inside against him anymore. Everyone's away, away, away. And he's done such an impressive job of adapting his approach in his career in order to be able to attack and still remain a well above average offensive second baseman, even as the league has shifted its approach against him.
Alice, we were talking earlier about the defense on the Red Sox. We saw Jackie Bradley make a great play in the first inning, but this defense is, I think, it's gone by the board a little bit. It's been pretty darn good. Absolutely,
and I think that part of that is that a couple of question marks have ended up being just well above average. Starting with Travis Shaw, I think that's the real revelation, considering that that's a guy who, coming out of college, very few people thought that, going into college for that matter, very few people thought he was going to be able to be a third baseman. He was behind about a half dozen people in the Red Sox system at third base, including not just Will Middlebrooks and Garrett Cicchini, but also a guy like Michael Almanzar, who was a prospect who never really panned out in their system. He was just moved over to first base early. Last year, it looked like maybe he would be able to start incorporating third base. He's exceeded that by leaps and bounds in a way that's made him such a valuable player. As a third baseman, he ranks among the American League leaders in most offensive production categories. And to me, him and Holt in the lineup have done so much damage because of the grinding at-bats that they have. Their ability to elevate pitch counts and get on base has really made the Red Sox a fairly formidable top-to-bottom lineup, regardless of whether they're hitting homers.
Stephen Wright striking out Castro after walking Markakis. And here comes Adonis Garcia, who struck out first inning, as we chat with Alex Spear of the Boston Globe. Red Sox with a 6-1 lead here, as that one is bounded foul. Looking at the schedule ahead, and in fact the one the Red Sox are in right now against this Atlanta team 4 in a row, this is the time a good ball club, a postseason caliber team, makes hay, right? With all these home games in particular.
Absolutely, it is a time. Playoff teams usually just beef up a lot at home. They're teams that win almost 60% of the time. The Red Sox had a losing homestand in their first go round, and that seemed like a bit of a missed opportunity. But it's not just the fact that they're home at a time when maybe the weather's a little bit more favorable than it was for that first homestand. It's also the fact that
no advance by the runner.
It's also the fact that they seem to be catching team after team at exactly the right time. The Astros, they got them at a time when they're down and really haven't clicked to start the year. They've gotten the Braves when they're the worst team in Major League Baseball right now. The Yankees are sitting at the bottom of the division, and they'll have them for a couple series over the next 10 days. So there's a lot working in the Red Sox favor, where it does give them an opportunity to kind of establish their level.
Yeah, really get a foothold.
And as we know, it's an American League East that is pretty wide open. So take the opportunities as they come up.
Runner at first base and one man out. Red Sox with a 6-1 lead. So plenty of run support for the knuckleballer Stephen Wright. Knocked down by Hannigan, who John Farrell has said has been a Red Sox most consistent starter.
Wright being the most consistent starter has been a real revelation, dating back to the middle of last year, really. He's someone who looked like he had a pretty good chance to win a rotation spot down the stretch last year, because back when he was concussed, he was doing a better job. He was a more consistent starter than was Joe Kelly. And really, it was only that door that opened for Kelly because of the concussion that left Wright kind of on the outside looking in down the stretch and entering into the 2016 season. Obviously, that injury to Eduardo Rodriguez opened a door for Wright, and he's taken all the advantage in the world of it. It's reminiscent of a number of opportunities of which that Tim Wakefield capitalized on when he was always kind of on that bubble, but he managed every time there was a threat to his rotation spot, it seemed like.
That'll be ball 4, by the way. Runners at first and second.
To be able to solidify his spot in the rotation. So Wright has developed a surprising and impressive consistency as a knuckleballer as a 31-year-old.
Well, of course, Rodriguez on his way back. We talked about Carson Smith a little bit tonight. I think Red Sox fans have not had a chance to see much of him, except for a handful of appearances in spring training, and how valuable he may be to this bullpen, I don't think can be understated.
He was one of the elite strikeout guys in the majors last year, complementing that with being one of the elite ground ball guys in the majors. So those are the two foremost traits that you can have as a pitcher. You're able to get either no contact or bad contact. When you're able to have that guy slotted into the late innings, that's a really exceptional weapon. John Farrell described him recently as being a guy with closer caliber stuff. And when you look at the 12+ strikeouts per 9 innings, you understand why he has that assessment. And between that, the pure stuff, and the ability to kind of pull back a little bit on the usage of Junichi Suzawa and Koji Uehara in the late innings, that's an awfully important weapon to have.
And that's unusual too, to see those strikeout numbers, because we think of him as a hard sinker pitcher. You mentioned the ground balls. You don't see many sinker ball pitchers that have those kind of strikeout numbers.
Ground ball back to right. He'll throw into second. Low throw, and it's knocked down, but that's going to load up the bases. So Wright had an opportunity certainly to get one out there at second base, and Red Sox don't get any.
And it happened so many times. Wright had an opportunity to get the inning-ending double play, but does not make a good throw. See him backhanding the ball, and then he just kind of throws it sidearm as it bounces to Bogaerts. He had no idea where the ball was. Fortunately for Bogaerts, it was in front of him, but it wasn't one of those looked like a comfortable over-the-top throw. It was almost a sidearm throw where he was trying to rush it, and the result was the bases loaded now with 1 out.
He will be charged with an error. Here's Frank Core, and that one's off the mitt, but the runners will hold. So it's been a rough third inning here for Stephen Wright so far, with 2 walks, and he's been charged with an error.
And the error comes as a surprise because, to me, he's one of their best pitchers in terms of fielding his position, especially making plays to second base.
The knuckleball pitchers generally are, because of the slowness of the pitch, they generally get themselves in good fielding position as the ball's going to home plate. So a lot of times they're in very good position to make the play on the ground ball back to them.
That was an epic Jeff Francoeur swing, by the way. That one was
really
coming right in at the body or the head, and let it loose.
Why not swing the bat? Something might happen. The 1-1. High pop up, and he hollers it himself. Infield fly in effect for Pedroia, makes that catch, and the runners will hold. And so that will be out number 2.
Jerry, getting back to your point about Smith, though, it is very interesting. And you think back historically about the sinker ballers who have that kind of combination of ground balls and strikeouts. Kevin Brown comes to mind,
yes,
but not a lot of other guys. Justin Masterson, when he's been at his very best, maybe. And like a Masterson, Smith features that hard two-seamer along with that slider from a low arm slot. But there aren't a lot of those guys, and when you have that combination, it can be incredibly valuable.
Yeah, it really is impressive because it is unusual.
Here's Brzezinski. Bases loaded up here, and he cuts and misses. And a nice save there by Hannigan, who continues to do nice work behind home plate.
Yeah, this ball really taken off the knuckleball. Now watch it go down and in, almost like a slider. And Hannigan's able to backhand that ball.
And that was nasty movement.
That was a lot of movement right at the end.
Brzezinski with a base hit, his 2000th career hit, his first time up. And that one drills him. He gets hit by the pitch. Talk about movement. That's going to force in a run. And so Atlanta on the board again. That'll make it 6-2 as Brzezinski gets hit.
That's almost the same pitch as the one before, except this one's got Brzezinski lined up. You'll see it again, darting quite a bit like a slider, and it gets him right on the left thigh. And that's going to bring in a run for the Braves. Plenty of action here in the first couple of innings.
There's Kelly Johnson. He sliced a single in the second inning. He represents the tying run, and that one up high. And really see Hannigan having to jerk after making that catch of that pitch.
Yeah, if you watch the runner at third base too, he's also getting down that line, and they're making sure they're getting a good secondary lead as the ball comes in, because if the ball gets by Hannigan, they get a chance to get a run. So you're always aware of that as a runner at third base.
On the corner for a called strike.
This is really one of those innings where it's Stephen Wright battling against himself, because it's not as if there's any hard contact that's being made on his stuff. The movement is so extreme, as you guys have both pointed out, that really it's just a matter of being able to find the strike zone.
Well, he's trying to get out of the inning here, and a high twisting pop up. That should do it. Bogart's backing out, coming on Brock Holt. Brock wants it. They leave him loaded. Alex, always great to see you.
Thanks, guys. Great to see you.
It's Alex Spear, the Boston Globe, joining us in the booth. Red Sox on top here, 6-2 over Atlanta. If the Red Sox win, Plain Ridge Park Casino donates $777 to the Relay for Life of Greater Attleboro, and in great shape right now. Still early, but on top 6-2. And that butterfly is really dancing all over the place for Stephen Wright. I don't know if they're talking about knuckleballs, Kimbrel and Wright.
I doubt it. Well, I'm sure Kimbrel is listening to about the knuckleball, but not thinking about throwing it.
No. Ryan Hannigan 1 for 1 with a base hit underway here in the bottom of the third inning. Sox got 2 in the first and 4 in the second on the grand slam by Dustin Pedroia off the pesky pole. Jackie Bradley on deck, and then Mookie Betts.
An unusual windup Gant has. We saw him out of the stretch last inning. Watch this windup. It goes up, comes back down, back up again, and here we go.
The 1-1. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Sharp curveball.
And yes, that is all legal.
Although he looks very indecisive. I don't think so. We'll do it again.
Well, I'll tell you, if he drops trips on us with that leg kick, now we really got a story, because he's doubling up on it. If he triples up, I would know what to do as a hitter.
Jerry, it could go on all night.
I know, you could just keep going. Up, down, up, and here we go.
2-2. And again, looking to reach the lead off the inning, and he takes one inside. Red Sox riding a 3-game winning streak. The Orioles leading the division. They've lost 3 in a row. 3-2. Ground ball routinely hit to the third baseman Castro. You know, DraftKings is the official one-day fantasy baseball partner of the Boston Red Sox. Experience the thrill of playing on DraftKings right now. Play free daily using the promo code NESSON at DraftKings.com. It was Jackie Bradley. He walked and scored in the second inning when the Sox got 4 and knocked Bud Norris, the Atlanta starter, out of the game. Clay Buchholz on the bump here tomorrow night in the last game against the Braves. Julius Chassin, a right-hander, will be his opponent. And the Yankees are here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All night games. And it'll be Henry Owens, Rick Porcello, and David Price. Henry about to get his second start. Hammered foul.
I was seeing more and more infielders who look at the numbers for Owens on Sunday against the Astros, 3 1/3, like to improve on that, and especially the 4 walks in that game. That has been his issue, both at the minor league level and his first start with the Red Sox.
Swing and a miss on a slow curveball. Now goes Jackie Bradley, and they're 2 away for the Red Sox here in the third.
Yeah, now we're seeing Gant mix in a third pitch, and that's the breaking ball. There's basically fastball changeup when he came in last inning, but now he's mixed in the curveball, and that's how he gets Bradley.
Mookie Betts is 1 for 2. He had a base hit in his last at bat, and that ran his hitting streak to 8 in a row. Red Sox leading 6-2 over Atlanta. Betts has scored another run. He leads the Red Sox in runs, triples, homers, and RBIs coming into the ball game as he cuts and misses. As before tonight, David Ortiz has now resumed the team lead in RBIs. Poppy with 2 doubles, and Dustin Pedroia now at 11 RBIs with his grand slam, a fly to right, and Markakis. And that's the first time the Red Sox will have gone in order tonight. After 3, 6-2 Boston. Friday at 5:30. Don't miss Friday Night Fenway, presented by Budweiser. John Farrell will be joining TC on the field for an exclusive interview. Be sure to visit the Baseball Tavern through Sunday, May 1 for the chance to be selected as Budweiser's Fan of the Game. This Bud's for you. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien with you on to the 4th inning. Stephen Wright would love a fast inning. In the 3rd, a couple of walks. He hit a batter. Only allowed 1 run. So he got out of it in decent shape. He's trying to get his record to 2-2. Ibar struck out first time up, and there's a strike. Go back to the start of last season, and Stephen Wright has put up an ERA of 3.27 as a starter.
Now that'll get it done. There's no question about that. He's quietly been very, very impressive for the Red Sox in whatever role he's been in.
He likes to pitch at Fenway too as he drops in a strike. His last 6 starts at Fenway at 286 earned run average. He's been a rock in this rotation. Two, a swing and a miss. It rolls away from Hannigan. He's going to have to slide and gun and won't get him. And so Ibar will be safe despite the strikeout. And he's aboard to lead off the 4th inning.
That ball just going too far from Hannigan. Watch, he's going to have to chase this toward the on-deck circle of the Atlanta Braves, and that makes a much longer throw. And Ibar has good speed going down the line, so a little chance there for Hannigan, as he could not handle the knuckleball of Stephen Wright.
Sends up Stubbs, who's 0 for 1. Hannigan will be charged with a pass ball there. A full night's work for Ryan Hannigan. Red Sox ahead 6-2 in the 4th inning.
Well, it's got to be so difficult, Dave. You know, when a conventional pitcher, you call for a fastball inside, outside. You may have to move one way or the other to make the catch on it. At least you know it's going to be one of those. Knuckleball pitcher, you don't know from pitch to pitch what it's going to do. It's like maybe a throw to first base here.
Now, fan at home's going, Jerry, I know you played a long time. How'd you know that?
When you watch the catcher, generally when they give the flip of the thumb, means they want to throw to first base. This is obviously going to be the knuckleball here.
1-1 to Stubbs. He got a piece of it, fouled it away.
Yeah, if you're home watching, catchers give signs. A lot of times when they just kind of flip their thumb out, as you can see right there, that means they want the pitcher to throw to first base, and that's pretty much, I wouldn't say it's universal with all catches, but with a lot of them.
Ibar at first base, nobody out. And a 1-2 to Stubbs. That one ate him up. A swing and a miss. The runner's going down to second base and will advance, as Hannigan could not quite corral it, but it is a strikeout, and actually the second one in the inning for Wright.
I'll tell you what, Hannigan really has his hands full tonight, because this thing is dancing all over the place. I mean, we've seen pitches dart away from right-handed hitters. We saw that pitch go inside to a right-handed hitter. You just have no clue.
That's another pass ball, allowing the runner to get down to second base, but it's just going everywhere. The one out, here's Markakis, who has walked and scored and also grounded to third base.
And for the fans at home, you see signs given with a man at second base, and they're always changing, sometimes inning to inning. It'll be a different set of signs. They give multiple signs so the runner at second can't pick them up.
Swinging bunt. That's going to be a fair ball. Wright will have it. He'll go to first base. The runner holding at second. The Ibar never got away from second base. Well, Star Wars Night at Fenway Park returns on Monday, May 9th. Fans in attendance have the chance to see their favorite Star Wars characters. And with a purchase of a special ticket, you can receive a limited edition BB88 Red Sox baseball. For tickets and more information, visit redsox.com/Star Wars.
You know, Dave, just to stay on that sign thing for just a little bit longer, is the reason they give multiple signs, because if you put one down, the runner at second base can pick that up and they can relay that to the hitter. So you try to you change things up, and the way you do it, sometimes it's the second sign they give, sometimes it's the third sign, sometimes it's the sign after two, sometimes they'll use a scoreboard count to tell you, whether it's going to be pitch number 3 if the count's 2-1. It's all kind of different ways to do it, and middle infielders have to be on par with that so they know what's coming.
Ibar at second base, and that one off the mitt of Hannigan. That'll roll all the way to the backstop and advance the runner. So he's already been charged with 2 pass balls in the inning. Just an indication that it is moving wickedly.
Yeah, it really is, and it is another example. He expected that ball to go down and away, but it didn't. It kind of stayed up a little bit on him.
Third pass ball in this inning. Castro is 0 for 2. You just know, if your job is to catch the knuckleball guy in your staff, your personal statistics don't even pay attention to them.
Exactly right.
They go right out the window. Because you're probably going to lead the league in pass balls, even if you're a terrific catcher. And Hannigan's an outstanding catcher. Sox up 6-2. Runner at third here for Atlanta. Chop to the middle. Bogarts cruising behind the bag and gets him. So that retires the side. An eventful inning nonetheless. But they fail to score, and the Sox lead 6-2. Time now for the Geico Red Sox moment, honoring the 1986 Red Sox. In their 21st game of '86, the Red Sox would lose 4-1 to Oakland. Jose Canseco homered, and he drove in 2 runs for the A's. Last half of the 4th inning, Dustin Pedroia, who is the hitting star tonight, with a grand slam. He's 2 for 2. Red Sox ahead 6-2. So Petey, for the second time in a week, can start thinking about hitting for the cycle, Jerry, because he has the home run and the single. Last man to do it was Brock Holt, of course. Mookie Betts came close, and Pedroia came close the other day.
Now, there's 2 areas in this ballpark when I think triple, and obviously the 420 is one of them. And going around the boards down the right field line.
That's in there for strike 3. He's caught looking, so one man gone, but back to the home run in the second inning.
Now 4 quick ones right here for Pedroia as he takes it to the opposite field on a fastball. That ball's hooking, but does catch the foul pole.
Hey, Clay Buchholz said Brock Holder onto something there. I don't know what you call that dance.
I don't know either. We'll have to find out, though, won't we?
Like to see more of it, though, as Xander Bogaerts gets in. Call it the grand slam. Xander scored a run in the first inning. Trying to pick up his first hit, however. He'll be followed by David Ortiz here in the 4th. Sox landed about 2:30 this morning at Logan and got here to Fenway around 3 a.m. So another early morning arrival. They had a couple of them on that trip, and it didn't slow them down at all. I think John Farrell is going to be privately delighted with the resiliency of his team. You know, the 6 a.m. arrival the other day in Atlanta after the Sunday night game, and then early this morning, and then right away getting to the work of scoring runs.
We were talking about that before the game, and you know, it doesn't feel good. And usually it's the second day that it really has an effect on you. The one advantage the players do have, and they do get fatigued, obviously, and the longer the season goes on, the more they do get fatigued with the travel the way it is at least they're moving around. You know, at least they're out in the field, the blood's flowing, you know, they're moving around, and kind of makes you forget for a while how tired you might be.
Xander will take ball 4. So he is on with one away. A Saturday morning at 9 on Dining Playbook. Billy and Jenny come to you from Myers and Chang in the South End. Plus, learn what local hot spots won the James Beard Award this year. Don't miss Dining Playbook Saturday morning at 9 on Nesson, driven by your New England Chevy dealers. David Ortiz working on a perfect night with a pair of doubles. One down the right field line, one off the green monster. He has scored a run and driven in one. There's a high deep drive to center. Stubbs on a track, turning around, and that ball is off the wall. Xander rounding third. Here he comes again. The throw home won't get him. Another RBI for Big Papi. Another wall ball.
Now this has been certainly impressive by David Ortiz. 3 doubles in the ball game, 2 RBI, and that was almost a home run. I want to see this again very closely, because this ball may have been a home run. I'm not sure yet. Straightaway center field. Does it hit to the right of the line? Oh, just at the top of the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
What is that, an inch and a half?
Yeah.
Goodness.
Red Sox are taking a look at it on replay, and looks like John Farrell may want that looked at. Wow, was that close?
Now, of course, he's got to ask to have it looked at.
Yeah.
This is up to the umpires.
Now, there's no question it was to the right of the yellow line. The question was it on top of the wall?
We'll see if they agree. They're going to go to Joe Wiss, the crew chief, and it's up to him. Let's see what Joe says. And says, why not? So they will take a look. The crew chief will look.
This is a pretty good look right here. Watch this.
Does it get any closer?
No, it doesn't. I don't think it's going to be a home run. I really don't.
That's a great look.
I mean, you can't get a better look than that. And I think that the ball's, you can almost see the dent.
You can.
You can see the dent on the wall.
Got one of those on the passenger side of my car. It looks just like that. David put another dent up there. I know what the crowd is saying. Let's see what they come up with here. And they're going to hold him at second base. So it'll be a double. His 3rd double of the ball game. He's had a terrific night nonetheless. 3 for 3. And now ties George Brett for the 16th most all-time extra base hits. All these guys we're talking about that he's tying and going past are in the Hall of Fame.
You know where they are, right? Yeah, they're in Cooperstown.
And scored a run to make it 7-2. Oh, so close.
That's a great look. I mean, and that's exactly what the umpires saw too, and just missed.
Hanley Ramirez 1 for 2 with a base hit. He has an RBI tonight. Red Sox leading 7-2 now. Hanley's hit 15 career home runs against the Atlanta Braves. One man out, one man on, and a run in. This is kind of amazing to think with the career he's had. This is just the 3rd time in David's career he's had 3 doubles. How about that? He usually mixes in a home run.
Yeah, that's why.
2-1. I would have said, 15 or 20 of those,
Yeah. No, you're right. Most of the time, if he's having a night like this, it's usually involving a home run.
At least one. And he just missed one there.
And Hanley just missed one there too. That was a very good pitch on a 2-0 count that he fouled back.
Last half of the 4th inning. Sox are taking their time tonight, but they're delighted to do it given the score. Fouled back right up over our heads. With a victory tonight, the Red Sox would improve to 12-9. Travis Shaw on deck. With another one coming against Atlanta tomorrow. Then the Yankees, and then the Red Sox hit the road after 3 games against New York. Swung on and missed. Down he goes. That'll be out number 2 as Hanley strikes out. It's hard to believe, but we're almost through the first month of the baseball season. Be sure to know when the Sox are playing. You can download this season schedule directly into your favorite calendar program by visiting NESN.com/schedule. A lot of home games coming up in the month of May. Chance to make some hay too. Got a long homestand coming up on the 9th of May against Oakland and Houston. Then the Red Sox go on the road for a quick 3-game series against Kansas City, and then another long homestand against Cleveland and Colorado. Jerry promises the weather is going to warm up.
Well, I'd say at some point this summer it will. There's no question about that. Actually, it's fairly comfortable tonight.
Tonight it is, yeah.
Yeah.
So far. Not bad at all. Travis has walked 2 times. Ortiz at second. There's a shot into right center field. Nobody out there. Onto the grass, onto the track, up against the wall. David Ortiz can walk home. Travis Shaw heading for 3rd, and that's a stand-up triple to make it 8-2. That's the first triple of his career.
Here's the impressive thing about Shaw. Remember the last at bat he had when he walked and they threw him fastballs in, fastballs away, changeups away. Here he gets a changeup and is able to stay back on. Now, this isn't a bad pitch at all. I mean, look at the location of this ball. It's down below the strike zone. That split-fingered fastball right there, the change, and then he just takes it, picks it off the ground, hooks it in that gap where there's plenty of room for Travis Shaw. Ortiz scores and Shaw ends up on 3rd base. That's nice hitting.
Here's Brock Holt looking to strike. So over the last 2 nights for Travis, a home run, a double, and today a triple.
just shows you there the span that he has at home plate, how he can handle pitches inside. You saw it last night with the home run, and now he takes a changeup that's out off the outside part of the plate and down.
He jumps on that high fly to right field. Marquez has to race on back. Still backpedaling. Oh, he's got it on the warning track for out number 3. Red Sox teeing off, and they add a couple more now. 8-2 Red Sox. Red Sox with plenty of offense so far tonight. An 8-2 lead as we go to the 5th inning. Jerry Remy and Dave O'Brien alongside here at Fenway as the Red Sox open up a 5-game homestand, and doing so in style and scoring for Stephen Wright.
Well, this is what the Red Sox did on that last road trip. They put some points on the board, and they have certainly done that again tonight. And, you know, as you mentioned, Dave, earlier in the ball game, doing it early in games, and that makes such a difference. You know, when the other team has to play from behind early in the ball game, it relaxes the pitcher, relaxes everybody.
Here's Adonis Garcia, who has struck out and taken ball 4. Last inning, that pitch was moving all over the place. There were 3 pass balls, and the count goes to 2-0. The Atlanta Braves have lost 7 in a row. High pop up into center. And Jackie Bradley with the grab for a fast out.
That's a fastball right there from Wright. He's probably thrown only about 3 or 4 in the game tonight. He started the game off with a fastball, but not many since then. He got a fastball when he got behind in the count and gets the fly ball out.
He has mixed in some curves, as you mentioned. That he's been more curveball, I think, heavy than in past starts, and so far this season it's something that's worked for him. Here's Freddie Freeman. He lifts that one down the line. Brock Holt will close on that. 2 up, 2 down. Let's get down to Garrett Austin.
Hey, thanks, OB. I talked with pitching coach Carl Willis, who said that Ryan Hanigan has been doing a great job catching Stephen Wright. Willis told me that Hanigan has been putting in a lot of work, that he worked with spring training with Wright, and that he's been catching his bullpens. And like you mentioned, OB, Willis said that Hanigan has really helped Wright utilize his curveball more.
Jerry was talking about that earlier, Garen, that he's relying on it. He just threw one there to get it out. Big cut and a miss by Frank Core. Pretty much came out of his shoes.
Go back to look at the breaking ball, the curveball right here from Stephen Wright. That's the pitch we were talking about. And, you know, Tim Wakefield was telling me last night that he used to throw that because hitters used to give up on it because it looked so high. It had a different rotation, obviously, than a knuckleball, which they're looking for. And that's what Stephen Wright has got some outs on. So that was a good look at it right there. It wasn't a great curveball, but it was effective.
He's on the verge of a 1-2-3 inning. He could use that. He got one in the first inning. Eight to 2 Boston in the fifth. Chopper foul. Francoeur has struck out and popped up to second. He has been one of their best hitters. They just haven't had many. Here's the 1-2. And pops out of the mid.
Boy, Hannigan really is battling that thing tonight behind. I mean, it's easy for us to laugh, but it's not funny to Hannigan. I mean, he is all over the place trying to knock that thing down.
Popped up again, but this time Bogart's backing out. As it lined up, good inning for Wright. He gets him in order. 8-2 halfway through. WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC and Steve Lyons will break down tonight's game, and you'll hear from Stephen Wright and John Farrell. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Who but WB Mason? Bottom of the fifth, Red Sox with an 8-2 lead, trying to win their fourth consecutive game. Ryan Hannigan will lead things off, and then it'll be Jackie Bradley and Mookie Betts up against John Gant, who had to come into the game early as the Red Sox knocked the starter Bud Norris out after an inning and a third. And a big blow is a grand slam by Dustin Pedroia, third of Pedroia's career. Red Sox got 2 in the first, 4 in the second, 2 more in the fourth inning, and have kept on swinging. It's Andover and Ryan Hannigan's hometown in support tonight, and that's outside. One pitch and bounce to the plate. We were just in Atlanta, of course, for the first 2 games of this 4-game series. And they are probably already resigned to the fact that it's going to be a very, very challenging season for this Atlanta club. They have the worst record in the majors right now. They're moving into a brand new ballpark next year, but for Freddie Gonzalez, we're talking about those home runs. They've gone 15 games without a home run. He said you can't teach that. That's something you cannot teach.
Look at that. How frustrating is that? 10.5 games back, 4-16, and we've just started.
10.5 out. Cut on and missed, and down goes Hannigan. One away, 5th inning. Pennant fever is going on right now at Jordan's Furniture. If the Sox and Yankees meet in the League Championship Series for the pennant, you could win free furniture and mattresses. It's pennant fever, and it's going on right now. Go Sox. Jackie Bradley has walked and scored and struck out. He's also made a terrific diving catch. You talk about offense lighting a fire under a team, or a pitcher striking outside in the first inning. Does an outstanding defensive play do that too right away?
Sure, absolutely. Everybody's sitting in that dugout or on the field when they see a guy make a play like this. I mean, they're all excited. That ball sliced. I mean, look at this. That ball slicing away from him. He got the perfect jump on it.
Ground ball and a base hit. That was a worm killer off into left field. Jackie on base for the second time tonight.
That's the way you defeat the shift right there too. But getting back to the defense, yes, defense certainly can lift the ball club. It certainly lifts a pitcher's spirits because he's got guys behind him that can catch the ball. You know that you have confidence if there's contact, it's got a chance to be caught. So everybody feels good about it. Right there, Jackie defeating the shift by going to the opposite field.
Stephen Wright talking hitting. Maybe Jackie's swing right there. Continues to swing a pretty good bat. Here's Mookie Betts. He's gone 1 for 3 with a single. We talked about the catch at the time it happened and the fact that he seemed to be almost frozen there in midair. Had an artistic quality to it. You know what I loved also? He kept his cap on. His cap never came off his head.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a great shot. Yeah, it almost tried to come off, didn't it?
Very stylish. Red Sox leading 8-2 here in the 5th inning. Mookie Betts extending his hitting streak to 8 straight with a second inning single. And he was on right in front of Dustin Pedroia, who hit the grand slam. Stopped at the plate by A.J. Pierzynski.
Yeah, you're talking about that catch, and I like to see players rewarded for mentally being in the game, and certainly Jackie Bradley was on that. I don't want to wear it out, but the fact that he moved over 3 or 4 steps because of the count, I mean, to me, that's why he made the catch. And a lot of guys in the outfield just kind of la-di-da, but the right way to play the outfield is to also play counts.
3-0. He's taking, and that is ball 4. So the Sox have 2 men on. Bet a lot of base runners tonight. MLB.TV Premium is everything you've come to expect and more. You can watch every out-of-market game of all 30 teams in true high def on over 400 supported devices. Visit MLB.TV for details. Well, this could wind up being some night for Dustin Pedroia. He already has 4 RBIs on the 1 swing. He has 2 hits. A single and a grand slam. And the runner's dancing, and the pitch won't be made by Gant.
Kelly Johnson, the second baseman, had come in almost like he wanted a pick off, but the pitcher did not see him, so that was the end of that possible play.
1 down, 2 on. Yank foul.
See Kelly Johnson come in now. He starts to break to the bag right there, and that's when the pitcher sees him. Jackie Bradley also taking a step back when he did break, so good heads up play by Bradley. And trying to prevent the double steal here with Bradley at first. Excuse me, at second, and Betts at first.
The 0-1 pitch to Dustin. Ground ball to the right side. The throw into second. Out there onto first. And they turn to double play. So that's all for the Sox here in the 5th inning. Still 8-2 Boston. Pitching line is brought to you by Ace Ticket. He has gone 5 innings, so he's qualified for the victory. And will keep on pitching here into the 6th. Red Sox with an 8-2 lead. He's about to take on Przinsky, Johnson, and Ibar. That's 6, 7, and 8 for the Atlanta Braves. A.J. Przinsky was, of course, with the Red Sox back in 2014 for a spell. Big night for him with his 2000th career hit. 2nd inning single. He's also been hit by a pitch. AJ has been a professional ball player since 1994 when he was with the Minnesota Twins. Took him 7 years to get to the big leagues. He'll turn 40 years old in December.
Oh, that's surprising. A position player to catch 7 years to get to the major leagues and still able to get 2,000 hits.
Serves that one to Travis Shaw. 1 up and 1 down. Time for a game break. Let's toss it back to the studio. Here's TC. Well, they like that kid a lot, TC, for sure. He can run too. In there for a strike at Kelly Johnson, who was singled in a run and fly to left. Sox have out-hit Atlanta 10-3.
Things have quieted down for Stephen Wright over the last 3 innings. Had a long 3rd inning, but then a very quick 4th inning, 5th, and gets the first out here in the 6th.
A ball and 2 strikes in Kelly Johnson. Red Sox need a little help from Tampa Bay tonight. So far not getting it. If they want to move into first place by half a game, they're going to need Tampa Bay to rally and knock off the Orioles, and the Red Sox will have to win here. The Orioles got off to that torrid start, of course. There's a shot drilled into left center field. Brock Holt on the run to the track and makes the catch and up against the 10. They never gave up on that one.
Yeah, defense. I mean, you know, We've talked all night about it, and Brock Holt, Mr. Utility, out in left field for the most part this season, going right up to the wall, making the catch and crashing into the wall. You know, he caught that ball without even looking it into his glove. He was looking at the wall thinking he was going to crash into it, and the ball ended up in the webbing of the glove.
Then he gave the 2 sign like, yeah, I had it all the way there, no problem. That was an easy one. Ibar trickles that one foul. He has struck out twice.
You know, most of the time you see infielders telling outfielders how many outs there are. Well, it's Brock Holt telling his infield there are 2 outs now.
Right. This is a Red Sox team that's having a really good time playing the game right now, which is great to see. Winning does that, doesn't it, Jerry?
Certainly does. It makes it a lot more fun every day to come to the ballpark. You know, they were like in quicksand before they went on this road trip. It just couldn't seem to bust through that 500 mark. And then you could kind of see it turn around on the road trip where, you know, they had that big win in Houston, and you know they controlled the games down in Atlanta, and it's just kind of a fresh feeling, like we finally get moving above that 500 mark.
Here comes the 0-2 to Ibar. You want to be a dominating home team, and that's what the Red Sox have the chance to establish here during this run, but they have so many home games. A line drive caught. Shaw with a nice play, moving toward the line. Winds up a 1-2-3, 8-2. Sox in command. Franchises are proud to give back to the communities in which they live and work, and thousands of kids have had a chance to catch a free Sox game thanks to Dunkin' Donuts. Tonight we welcome the YMCA of West Roxbury to historic Fenway Park. Dunkin' Donuts committed to the community. And they have enjoyed what they have watched tonight. The Red Sox in front 8-2 to the bottom of the 6th inning. Xander Bogaerts to lead it off. So it's the heart of the order against Gant. Xander has reached base a couple of times and scored 2 runs, hitting .284. Broken bat on the infield, and Johnson sets him down. Tonight, following Red Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, we preview the Patriots' plan for the NFL Draft, plus hear from Celtics coach Brad Stevens. NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. Hunter Cervenka is loosening in their bullpen, the big left-hander. But David Ortiz is looking for his 4th extra base hit. He has doubled 3 times. He's driven in 2 runs. He has scored twice and narrowly missed a home run. And I mean, maybe by an inch and a half in his last at bat. David has never had 4 doubles in a major league game.
No fastball yet. 3 curveballs to David Ortiz in this at bat, and he's having a running conversation with A.J. Pierzynski, former teammates.
Bat on the shoulder and a strike. Those two go back a long way. Here comes the 3-1. Hard ground ball, backhanded by Freeman. He'll do it himself. So David Ortiz makes his first out. Let's go down to Guerin.
Thanks, OB. Well, yesterday was a very special day for Pat Light, who made his major league debut. I talked with Light before the game, and he said he still has not come down. He barely slept last night. He also told me that he was very nervous, but Hanley Ramirez came to the mound and tried to calm him down, and he got text message from pretty much everybody he's ever met, and he said it was great to have his parents, his siblings, his grandma, and some of his friends there to watch. Jerry, was your debut that memorable?
Yes, it was. I mean, I think everybody remembers their first major league game and appearance. And I mean, I was so nervous that my legs were actually shaking in the batter's box. And that, you know, that's the feeling you have. And I was watching the game last night, and it was almost like he was hyperventilating on the mound. I mean, he was gasping for breath, and you could tell he was all fired up and nervous. And I mean, that's just the way it is. If you don't feel something, you're not normal.
How great to have your folks there.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that adds to it.
It does.
He's throwing 98.
Yeah.
And he can throw hard. That's for sure. He has that out of the way now. A 3-0 pitch, and taking all the way, Hanley Ramirez. He's gone 1 for 3.
I actually also watched the postgame show last night with Tom Caron and Tim Wakefield, and Guerin had an interview with Pat, and he was still fired up, and this was probably maybe 20 minutes after the game was over. So you can imagine the feeling when you get the major league debut under your belt.
What did you do in your big league debut? Do you remember what you did at the plate?
Yes, I got a base hit to drive in a run, and then it all got dampened very quickly as I got picked off first base.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was yikes.
2 down, bases empty, 3-2, and fouled off to the right by Hanley. 2016 CVS Health Charity Classic features more than the nation's best golfers. Don't miss the Charity Classic benefit featuring award-winning Lady Antebellum. That's at the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence on June 28th. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com/Charity Classic Fenway. Red Sox leading 8-2 here in the 6th. To the third baseman, Castro. And one of the rare times tonight, the Red Sox go fast. We are on to the 7th. Red Sox by 6. Son or daughter who wants to learn more about baseball or the Red Sox will visit NessonClubhouse.com. Videos, games, a lot more. It's fun, free, and easy to use. Visit NessonClubhouse.com today. On to the 7th inning. Red Sox with a comfortable 8-2 lead. And Stephen Wright back to work. He's allowed only 3 hits. Trying to get his record to 2-2. He's in great shape right now. And spins around Stubbs, who's gone 0 for 2. The Red Sox do have a new right fielder. And Chris Young has gone into the game to replace Mookie Betts. And the 1-1. A strike. Stubbs hitting .250 with 1 home run. It'll be followed by Markakis and then Castro, the top of their order. And that just missed.
This is the 4th straight start that Wright has pitched into the 7th inning for the Red Sox. So that's going deep into games.
He's really been a rock. 3-2. He's coming off 6 2/3 against Houston. Of course, Price magnificent last night. Porcello a perfect 4-0. In there for strike 3, and he got him with a fastball.
Yeah, completely fooled him right there. Stubbs thinking about nothing but the knuckleball, as he should be against Stephen Wright. Now he pumps the fastball by him on the outside corner. Very good control with that. So we've seen him this tonight with the fastball, with the curveball, and the knuckleball. Of course, the majority that pitches the knuckleball.
1 down. It'll send up Markakis. See if they get the bullpen active here, as Markakis has walked, grounded out, and grounded out again. And it will be Tommy Lane starting to get going. Stephen would love to get through 7 strong innings tonight. Shot out to left. Brock Holt to the track. Runs another one down. 2 away. Stay tuned for Red Sox Final, presented by Plain Ridge Park Casino. TC and Steve Lyons will preview Clay Buchholz's start tomorrow against Atlanta. And we'll have highlights from Jake Arrieta's first start since throwing a no-hitter. He has been unreal.
You know, Dave, you were just talking about the post-game show, and Tom Caron, I have a secret to give out tonight. Tom, who runs the post-game show and also runs what you order for food after they do the pre-game show, does not allow fish, because when fish is done, it smells. So it's not allowed in the green room. Well, I can tell on Tom Caron that last night I saw him eating fish in the green room during the game.
Wow, upset alert. I had no idea.
Yeah, no, that's a big no-no for TC. But last night he was actually eating sushi.
Ooh.
So that rule apparently has gone out the window by the man that invented it himself, Tom Caron.
I guess if you make the rules, you alone can break the rules.
Sushi.
Sushi is right there on that line. Yeah.
Brought his own meal.
We did. None for you. But you know, there's no smell with the sushi.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
3-0 is outside, ball 4 on Castro. He reaches for the first time. Lane still warming in that bullpen. That'll send up Adonis Garcia. So not many base runners these last several innings for the Atlanta Braves against Wright. Here comes Carl Willis out for a mound visit. Red Sox with a win tonight would be going for a 4-game sweep of Atlanta tomorrow behind Clay Buchholz. Then the Yankees Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and all that implies. First meeting of the year. Carl Willis, a guy who has a very easy going way about him. This is our cricket something to smile about moment. And the grand slam dance by Clay Buchholz and Brock Holt right on the railing.
Yeah, when you really break it down, it's not that tough a move. It's basically 3 moves.
It's not complicated.
No.
Anybody can do it.
You really can. I mean, you know, when you speed it up, it looks much more difficult.
Brock Holt has the other grand slam, so he excels at that. Now joined by Dustin Pedroia tonight. Red Sox leading 8-2. The 0-1, that's a late cut. Another fastball. He's mixing in a few more heaters here in the 7th inning. Right, looking for a strikeout. And he gets it. Perhaps the last pitch he'll throw tonight. He ends it with a flourish if that is the case. With the Sox up 8-2. Here's a poll question presented by People's United Bank. Jerry, let's see what topics people can vote on to hear you talk about on NESN Sports today. You can text your answer to 536-536.
All good topics right there. All big parts of the game. Pedroia's grand slam, obviously. The Red Sox have thrown some leather around tonight, and another great job by Stephen Wright.
Hunter Cervenka, the left-hander, out of the bullpen now for Atlanta. Travis Shaw has not recorded an out. As you look at Cervenka, he's out of Baytown, Texas, and he is yet another rookie pitcher for the Atlanta Braves. Shaw has walked twice and hit his first career triple to drive in a run in the 4th inning. Sox with 10 hits to just 3 for the Braves. Dustin Pedroia's big night out in front now, 50%. Grand slam for Dustin. Brock Holt on deck. And punch foul.
Tell you, Shaw has fouled off some very, very difficult pitches tonight. I mean, that fastball down and away on an 0-2 count. Able to foul off and gets a chance at another pitch.
And the guys in this lineup are mindful of, you know, the 04 and the 07 and the 13 Red Sox lineups. You know, wearing you down. You know, taking it right out of the glove, working long counts, driving up that pitch count.
You know, it's interesting. The Red Sox almost had to change their strategy because every team was counting on them to take a strike, and they found themselves at times behind in counts a lot, and they became a little bit more aggressive. because teams knew that they wanted to wear teams down and take a lot of pitches, and so what they were doing is pumping them first pitch strikes because they knew they'd probably take, and they wanted to be a little bit more aggressive in their attacks at the plate.
1-2. All even on Shaw. We have seen tremendous improvement in situational hitting with this team.
Yes, absolutely, Dave. That's a great point.
I mean, a major difference from a season ago and the season before that. Left-handers 2-2. He waved and missed. Down he goes, strike 3. The tag to make sure. And Shaw makes his first out tonight. One away in the 7th. NESN is a brand new site for car enthusiasts. That is NESN Fuel, your new home for everything automotive, including race recaps and much more. Visit NESNfuel.com and follow NESN Fuel on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram today. Rest of the night off for Mookie Betts. Puts the hat on against the chill.
Now 6-run lead late in the game. Coming off a very late arrival. And a good time to maybe get him off his feet for a couple of innings.
Well, he and Travis Shaw, the only two Red Sox players who have started every game. So you're right. Get him off his feet a little bit. Brock Holt 0 for 3. He's been busy in left field this evening. And busy dancing.
I like to see that again slowed down because I think we could all pick it up. Alexia Gondo, former Red Sox, loosening in the bullpen. It's pretty simple. It's a left, middle, right, I believe. We look at it. There's left, middle, right. Back to middle, back to left, middle, right. See, so it's pretty easy to pick up. I think you and I, Dave, could probably.
Even you and I
think
Jerry,
we could do that, yeah.
Could ace that one. I'd like to see that become a regular thing. Pop foul back out of play. 2-2 on Brock. Ryan Hannigan would be next. Clay Buchholz hoping for some more of that offense in support of him tomorrow. He'll take 7 or 8 runs as he will go against Atlanta.
They really have Francoeur very close to that left field line with 2 strikes on Brock Holt. Lefty against lefty. They are swinging over in that direction, and you can see where Francoeur, the left fielder, is playing. Not expecting Holt to be able to pull the ball against him. Slider away.
Cervenka's 2-2. And it got him. Picked up by Brzezinski. He completes the strikeout. That's back-to-back Ks from the southpaw.
Yeah, it's 2 good sliders he's thrown, both to Shaw. 2 left-handed, Shaw and Holt, with a couple of strikes on him, goes to that breaking ball, and it's very difficult, I think, for left-handers to pick up. Oh, I think it's already caught on, Dave. Left, middle, right. Left, middle, right. Now, if you speed that up, it looks much more confusing than what it actually is, I believe. That's why we have video now, where we can slow things down and try to pick up any little thing that we possibly can.
Sure, the choreography is so important.
Yeah.
Ryan Hannigan 1 for 3 with a single. He has scored a run tonight. Red Sox ahead 8-2. Got going early again. Softly rolled to the shortstop by Barr. And the Sox go 1-2-3 for the second inning in a row. We're on to the 8th. 8-2 Boston. Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By the great folks at Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. And by the University of Massachusetts, here for a reason. Sox with a commanding lead 8-2 as we go to the 8th inning. Jerry Remy, dancing Jerry. Dave O'Brien with you, and Garen Austin as well. And a change on the mound for the first time. Stephen Wright strong again. And he gives the baseball up for Tommy Lane. Left-hander out of the pen to take on the heart of their order. So the line on Wright, 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs. He struck out 8.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights in the ball game tonight for the Red Sox. And obviously right out of the chute, Jackie Bradley Jr. making a tremendous defensive play out in center field. Dustin Pedroia with the grand slam right off the foul pole, the pesky pole. 4 quick RBIs for Pedroia. Stephen Wright, who really calmed down, I thought, as the game went on. And the ball seemed to smooth out for him a little bit. Does that make sense? But it was really dancing early in the game, and it seemed to quiet down a little bit and became more effective as the game went on.
So once again, Stephen Wright goes to the post and delivers. And the Red Sox scored a lot of runs for him tonight. Freddie Freeman will lead things off here in the 8th inning for Atlanta. He has doubled and scored. He has gone 1 for 3, and then Jeff Francoeur will follow. It's another game where the Atlanta Braves have failed to hit a home run. And if they go all night without hitting one, it'll be 16 consecutive games. Become a big story in baseball, all these homerless games in a row for Atlanta. Would also be their 8th consecutive defeat. I think one of the things that keeps jumping out with it, though, about the Sox starters is all the strikeouts. And Stephen Wright had 8 tonight, coming off 14 by Mr. Price.
Yeah, the Red Sox number 1 in the American League in strikeouts. 14th in ERA, because they got off to a poor start, obviously, but number 1 in strikeouts.
High deep drive right field. Is that going to end it? Indeed it will. That one sails over the bullpen and gone. Well, they had gone 15 games since last hitting a home run, and finally they're off the schneid. Freddie Freeman figures he would get it, his 2nd of the season. That makes it 8-3.
A nice swing put on by Freeman there, and lefty against lefty. Very talented ball player, Freddie Freeman.
So they went 15 games and 7 innings in between home runs.
Yeah, they haven't had that feeling very much at all.
So now 5-run game here at Fenway. Francoeur's gone 0 for 3. He wraps that one to right, driving back Young on the move. He'll get there.
Take another look at the home run by Freeman, and he gets the fastball that just stays out over the plate. That big uppercut swing that he has, and he just lifts it up over the Red Sox bullpen.
His 2nd home run of the season. First one that Tommy has allowed this year. One away for Brzezinski. AJ is singled for his 2000th career hit. He's also been hit by pitch and grounded out. We are in the 8th inning. Oh, 1 up the middle. Bogarts to his right behind the bag and gets him. It's a 2 down. NESN is looking for youth baseball and softball teams to be a live studio audience for NESN Clubhouse this season. Visit NESNClubhouse.com and click on studio audience to enter your son or daughter's team today.
Now that's kind of an unusual play for Bogarts. They were in the shift, and he has to go to his right, so he's still basically at second base. So that throw to first base was not that far for him. Usually if the shortstop's got to go his right, it's a long throw, but not when you're in the shift.
Kelly Johnson here, and he'll take one high.
See where Bogey's playing up the middle, and then that ball's going to take him just about over that second base bag, and from that point you look up and it's not a long throw at all. It's like turning over a double play.
Johnson 1 for 3. When you were an infielder, there was not nearly as much shifting.
Not at all. Just very few guys they put a shift on, and I hated it. If I had to go on that shortstop side of the bag for a right-handed pull hitter, I was like out of my element. I was afraid I couldn't reach first base. But very few guys to just shift on. Now it's so commonplace.
Feels like every hitter. Cut on and missed. Who was like the #1 guy you shifted on?
Let's see. When I was with the Angels, we tried it on Carlton Fisk. There was somebody too when I was with the Red Sox. I mean, you can count them on one hand.
Yep.
You know, the guys that you would shift on.
Did it work well on Pudge?
Well, what you were trying to do is, especially at Fenway, keep him from trying to pull the ball so he hit the ball out of the ballpark. Make him think about the other way, like, you know, maybe try to hit the ball the other way. Take a single instead of a home run. And for the most part, no, it didn't work.
1-2, waved and missed for strike 3. Side retired. They break their home run streak. Now 8-3 Boston. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. 8-3, Red Sox have the lead. They have led throughout here. They knocked the starter Norris out of the ball game after an inning and a third. Dustin Pedroia with his third career grand slam, his second home run of the season. David Ortiz with 3 doubles tonight, and Stephen Wright again a big part of the story. 7 outstanding innings, 3 hits. He struck out 8. He's in line for the victory. That is our game summary brought to you by Xfinity. Atlanta will turn to the bullpen here in the last half of the 8th inning and bring on Jason Grilli. Been around a long time. He broke in 2000 with the Marlins. He's played for the White Sox, the Tigers, Colorado, the Pirates, the Angels, and now Atlanta. Jackie Bradley will be the leadoff man here in the 8th inning. Sox have out hit them 10-4. And Jackie has one of those hits. He's also walked and scored and made a tremendous diving catch. Wraps that one, trying to beat the ship, but Johnson there to snatch it for the out. 1 man gone. Ace Ticket, Boston's trusted source for Red Sox tickets, has the best seats at the lowest prices, all with a 200% guarantee. Call 1-800-MY-SEATS or visit aceticket.com. Chris Young to hit for the first and likely last time here tonight. He came on to replace Mookie Betts in right field after Mookie had gone 1 for 3 with a walk. Dustin Pedroia, the on-deck hitter. with a 4 RBI game. Line shot. Francoeur backs up, and he has that for the second out. It's Matt Barnes getting going in the bullpen.
That's 2 baseballs hit very hot by the Red Sox. Bradley in this inning, a line drive into the shift, and now Chris Young with a line drive out to left field. But the result, 2 outs.
Dustin Pedroia with a single, the grand slam. He's also struck out and hit into a double play. Hitting .326 here in the first month. Also playing superb defense. I think he wants that Gold Glove back that Jose Altuve has. Altuve had a rocky defensive series head-to-head against the Red Sox.
You know, it's interesting too when you play against a guy like Pedroia against Altuve. You know, you're trying to win a baseball game, but down deep, you're trying to beat that guy you're playing against. You know, at the same position.
Oh, it has to come into your head, doesn't it?
Absolutely, it does. You know, it's I want to outplay this guy tonight. I want to outhit him. I want to outfield him. It's just natural.
Altuve is a wonderful player. He won the Gold Glove last year. Of course, Dustin was nicked up with the hamstring injury, but completely healthy now and looking like it, putting up the kind of numbers you're used to seeing from him. And a major reason the Red Sox offense has been leading the American League in runs per game and getting 8 more tonight. Three and 1 on Pedroia. Xander Bogaerts hoping to hit in the inning. Red Sox with 2 in the first inning, 4 in the second inning to get rolling. Well, he took a home run cut there on a fastball.
Now that's a pull swing right there by Dustin. We've seen him go the other way a couple of times tonight with the home run and a ground ball to first base. But that pitch there, that pitch up and in, that's the one he's looking to pull.
3-2. Pop up into foul ground. Brzezinski and Castro there, and neither one of them make the play. No communication.
No, you know, and for me, in that position, Castro, the third baseman, has to take charge. I mean, because it's not an easy play for the catcher going in that direction, and it's a much easier play for the third baseman coming in, but he just stops. And Brzezinski looks at him, and in my opinion, I think it's the third baseman that's going to have that ball. And I think Brzezinski feels the same way.
Nobody called for that. 2 down, bases empty, and a 3-2 pitch on the house now for Dustin Pedroia. And a high fly ball driven deep to left field, rising up, and oh, it gets out. How about that? His second home run tonight. And a 5 RBI game for Petey. Well, they gave him another chance, Jerry.
They certainly did. Sometimes you get an extra chance in this game. Let's take a look at the foul ball that should have been handled by the third baseman. It was let drop. So Pedroia's got another chance. Now he gets a breaking ball that he reaches out and almost one-hands it up into the monster seat. So the second of the night, 5 RBIs, 3 hits for Pedroia. Big night.
It ties his career high for RBIs in a game with 5. So 1 down to right field line. This one into the monster seats. 3 2-home run games last season, his first of this year. And he has had a 3 home run game, which was in Colorado. Now Xander has a hitting streak on the line. He'd love to run it to 7 in a row. Does not have a hit tonight. Sox ahead now 9-3 Not a good idea the way he's swinging the bat to give him another shot at it. And he made them pay. Here comes the 2-0. A strike.
Well, you could make that case right now, Dave, for a lot of guys in this Red Sox lineup. You give them an extra chance, they're going to hurt you.
The 7th multi-homer game for Dustin. A pop-up that was not caught. Atlanta will be thinking about. Here's the 2-1. Now a good count for Xander. Tomorrow at 6, don't miss Red Sox first pitch, presented by Joseph Abboud. Available at Men's Warehouse. TC and Steve Lyons take a look at the great outfield arms on both the Braves and the Red Sox. David Ortiz would love to swing in this inning. He has 3 doubles. And he will, and that is down and away, ball 4. So Xander aboard again, and here comes Big Poppy.
Let's watch Ortiz and Pazinski. They had kind of a running relationship last time, as all Ortiz was seeing was breaking balls, and he was kind of kidding back and forth with Pazinski. So far, nothing said.
I don't think AJ is any longer in a laughing mood. David Ortiz with a double in the first inning, a double in the second, another in the 4th inning that almost got out of the ballpark. And a high fly ball kind of golfed into left. Francoeur will make that play, and that retires the side. Great night for Dustin Pedroia. A 2-homer game, 5 RBIs. Sox by 6. Brought to you by Jeep, the most awarded SUV lineup ever. We take a look at tomorrow's pitching matchup. Clay Buchholz 0-2 with a .633 earned run average, went 5 2/3, really had one bad inning against Houston. And taking on Chacin tomorrow. So Clay should be pitching for a 4th straight win over Atlanta and a 5th consecutive win for the Red Sox. That's what should be on the line. Red Sox with a 9-3 lead as we go to the 9th inning. And a right-hander, Matt Barnes, will take over and deals a strike on Ibar. 9th appearance for Matt, a .261 ERA. A lot of strikeouts there. He is not the only change. Late cut and a miss by Ibar. Josh Rutledge now in the game at second base to replace Dustin Pedroia, who hit 2 home runs. 5 RBI night for Dustin. And the Red Sox rolling again. Barnes thinking strikeout right here on Ibar, who has whiffed twice and also lined out to the third baseman. Still 0-2. Hey, tomorrow at 6:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live presented by DCU. TC and Steve Lyons preview Clay Buchholz's start. DCU is Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Red Sox got outstanding starting pitching for the second consecutive game. Stephen Wright, 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 8 strikeouts. On the heels of 14 strikeouts by David Price.
Yeah, this is a bit of a stretch now, Dave, where, you know, everything's kind of falling into place. The pitching, the hitting, the defense, running the bases. It's all kind of clicking for the Red Sox right now, which is a very nice feeling.
Rick Porcello there in the foreground. He's 4-0. Waved at and missed on a pitch down into the dirt. Another strikeout for Ibar as Barnes gets his first man, 1 away in the 9th.
You know, I don't think the manager can be very happy when guys are swinging and missing, and I've seen it 3 times tonight with them not even making an attempt to run down the first base. I mean, you know, you're losing ball games, you're not playing very well, you get a swing and miss, and you know, you should at least make the effort to run down the first base. That's just my opinion.
It looks bad.
It does look bad. You know, you look like a dead ball club.
With a loss tonight, Atlanta would lose 8 in a row and go to 4-17. Drew Stubbs here is 0-for-3 with 2 strikeouts. Braves with only 4 hits against the Sox pitching staff tonight. Be sure to subscribe to NESN's YouTube page to stay up to date on the latest sports news and exclusive interviews. Visit youtube.com/NESN right now. Will the Grand Slam dance be on YouTube, do you think?
Could be.
And your breakdown of it?
Well, I don't know about my breakdown, but the dance could be.
The text that I have received tonight after I said, well, I think you and I could both master that, have been vicious toward me. like O'Brien, there's no way you can ace it. Jerry could ace it. But not you. Not in a million years. I thought it was even simple enough for me. But apparently not. Line shot up the middle. That one almost got Barnes off into center field. He had to dance. So a base hit for Drew Stubbs.
That's kind of a game changer for Stubbs. You're having an 0-for-3 night. You've struck out a couple of times and you kind of survived that last at bat with a base hit. I mean, I know it's a personal thing, but that goes through players' minds. You know, you're getting beat 9-3 and you got an 0-for-3 going. You get a base hit. It kind of softens the blow a little bit on your night.
They'll send up the former longtime Baltimore Oriole Nick Markakis. He was there 9 years. 0-for-3 tonight. And he's slumping right now like many of his teammates. Red Sox have had a lot to do with that, with their pitching. Shutting down this Atlanta team, and certainly looked like the Sox will be going for a 4-game sweep of the Braves tomorrow night. 9 runs on 11 hits for Boston, 3 runs, just 5 hits for Atlanta. And the 0-1.
Well, you tip your cap to that guy right there, Dustin Pedroia, for the big offensive night he had tonight. Also tip your cap to Ryan Hannigan behind the plate for handling And that knuckleball, which was very tough to handle in the first few innings.
1-1 outside, and as the game progressed, he got better command of that knuckleball.
It seemed to me he did, yes.
But Hannigan with another great night behind the plate. I mean, he had passed balls, but that's just an indicator of how much that pitch was moving by Stephen Wright, who's in line for the win and continues to pitch great. Here comes the 2-1. Fly toward the corner. Holt on his horse. He leaps up and can't get it. And Karam's back onto the warning track. They're going to wave the runner in. Here comes Stubbs around third, and the throw is offline. That'll make it 9-4 into second base. Markakis with a double.
That ball slicing right down the left field line. You see where Holt is, and watch the ball tail away from him as he goes into the jump just over the glove. And by that time, you're going to get a run home. And Markakis ends up at second base with a double. So a couple of hits here in the ninth inning off Matt Barnes.
Markakis with his 10th double. He's driven in 16 runs. And here comes Daniel Castro, their third baseman. He's gone 0 for 3 with a walk tonight. One down, ninth inning. He got jammed. A bounding ball to Shaw. Runner holding his second. And there are two down. The Sox 1 out away from the victory.
Look about Hannigan. We talked about him and what a difficult night it was, especially early in the ball game when that thing was dancing all over the place. And look at Hannigan. I mean, he's fighting it all the way. And then things seem to quiet down a little bit for him toward the end, the second part of the ball game. But I mean, that is a vicious battle you got to put on behind the plate to try to corral that knuckleball.
Yeah, you're fighting it all night. Here's Garcia. 0 for 3 with a walk. Two down, a runner at second base, and the Sox up 9-4. Barnes looking to end it, and right down the heart. 98 on the radar gun. So one more out. The Red Sox win for the 4th consecutive time, and would go to 3 games over 500. Baltimore did win. They beat Tampa Bay 3-1. So they will remain in first place by half a game, presuming the Red Sox win. Two men out. Here comes the 2-1 pitch to Garcia. Snagged by Rutledge. That should do it. And that's the ball game. The Red Sox win it 9-4. That's 4 straight. And they send Atlanta to an 8th consecutive defeat, even though they finally hit a home run. Now putting it all together, TC once again with the pitching, the hitting, and the defense tonight here at Fenway.